Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Good morning.
Happy Wednesday to everyone online. Please keep your mic mute until your docket number is called. Once your docket number is called, you will be sworn in to give your testimony. Mr. Chairman, we can start with the preamble.
In compliance with notification requirements of Ohio's open meeting law and section 101.021 of the codified ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio, 1796, notice of this meeting has been publicly posted. All boards and commissions under the purview of the City Planning Department conduct their meetings according to Robert's Rules of Order. Actions during the meeting will be taken by voice vote. Abstentions from any vote due to a conflict of interest should be stated for the record before the taking of any vote. In order to ensure that everyone participating in the meeting has the opportunity to be heard, we ask that you use the raise hand feature before asking a question or making a comment. The raise hand feature can be found in the participants panel on the desktop and mobile version and activated by clicking the hand icon. Please wait for the chair or facilitator to recognize you, and be sure to select unmute and announce yourself before you speak. When finished speaking, please lower your hand by clicking on the raise hand icon again and mute your microphone. We will also use the chat feature to communicate with participants. The chat feature can be activated by clicking the chat button located at the bottom of the WebEx screen. All meeting activity is being recorded by way of the WebEx platform. These proceedings are also being live streamed by way of YouTube. All requests to speak on a particular matter by way of our website and email have been considered. We have also received emails from those who have provided written comments on a particular matter. Mr. Jacobson.
Mr. Chairman, this is Dan Jacobson from the Law Department. Preliminary issues, the live stream. Can we verify that the live stream is on and functioning?
Through the chair, yes.
Thank you. And Mr. Chairman, as the Law Department has done since these public meetings have gone virtual and or hybrid, law states its objection to the use of the chat function. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Davis.
Mr. Bradley?
We need some volume, Mr. Bradley. Okay, now you're muted. Now you're unmuted, but we need to get some volume. But right now, give me a thumbs up that you're here. Okay.
Mr. Maschke?
Here.
Mr. Dink?
Here.
Mr. Gallagher?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. First docket, housing docket A 8724, 1534 East 32nd Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is fire damage issued on April 3rd of 2024. Appeal was received April 25th of 2024, requesting for 1 year to complete abatement of the violation. Present for today's hearing, Acting Chief Building Official Glenn Murray, Dan Jacobson Law. With the appellant or his or her attorney and or representative, please state your name for the record.
My name Weichun, last name Truong, doc number A8724.
Okay, pronunciation of your last name would be Truong?
Yes,
Okay, Ms. Truong, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
yes.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what your plans are.
I did the email from the service master, their plan. Right now, inside already whole thing cleaning up. Right now, we are waiting for Cleveland Public Power to let us have the power, temporary power to start work. Everything is on the line. The material, everything, and the floor plan already approved by city. So actually right now is waiting for the Cleveland Power to give us power. We've been waiting for so long. So that's the issue right now. Otherwise, if smooth, we got power now, the service master said they can get job done by May.
By May, okay.
Yes.
Let's take a look here.
Mm-hmm. I forwarded the service master everything, the information yesterday.
Okay, so you're talking, you need more than 6 months is basically what you're looking for. Let me go over to Mr. Murray and see what his comments are.
Mr. Chairman, residential building permit has been pulled. So it will remain active as long as progress continues on the project.
Okay. All right, so we'll just say that just continue on with the project. We're she's fine. Is that correct? We don't have to worry about an ending time?
No objection. The building department has no objections.
Okay, you just need to continue on and make progress and make sure you get a final when you have it done, that then they come in and inspect it. So so that gets finished. Motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'm gonna ask for a date certain. The applicant is asking for 1 year on her application, and the timeframe of 6 months was put out. Thrown out,
Okay.
with
We-
winter approaching.
We can do that. So we're looking at an April 22nd, 2025 would be the date for 6 months. Motion?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Dank, second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Bradley? Mr. Maskey?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes. Did you have a comment, Ms. Strong?
Yes, yes. My comment is, may I have a question? How can I help asking the Cleveland Public Power move on for me? We've been waiting for so long. We got everything set up, everything they need, but we don't know what they're waiting for.
Okay, I don't have the answer to that question, and maybe somebody,
Mr. Chairman,
yes.
to the appellant, have you contacted your council person?
Yes, actually, we even got the temporary power ID. We all got an ID from them.
I would reach back out to your council person and have them put pressure on Cleveland Public Power to assist you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Maskey.
Thank you.
Okay, next docket, housing docket A 8924, 1614 East 49th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance, issued on May 1st of 2024. Appeal. May 1st of 2024. Appeal was accepted on April 29th of 2024. Applicant did not specify how much time they needed to complete abatement of the violations. Present for today's hearing, the Chief Building Official Glenn Murray, Dan Jacobson Law. Will the owner or his or her attorney and or representative please state your name for the record? Mr. Chairman, I do not see a William Nash in the participants panel online, nor are they in room 514 today.
Okay, Mr. Murray solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Mr. Jacobson?
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, did notice of today's hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
And through the chairman to Ms. Davis, have you received any form of communication, an email, a voice message, or anything physically delivered to you on behalf of this appellant and or docket?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
To the chairman, the due process recording of notice having been given to this appellant, the board can proceed with its hearing and ruling today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Murray?
Mr. Chairman, there was a permit pulled on 11/1/2023 to demolish the structure, private demolition. And it looks like maybe that was their intention to abate it by tearing it down, which there's been no action taken on since initially pulling that permit. So I recommend that we remand to the building department.
Okay, a motion is in order to deny more time and remand the property to the Division of Building and Housing for any further action. Motion?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Maskey,
Second.
second by Mr. Dank.
Mr. Bradley, Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Next docket, housing docket A 9124, 3618 West 102nd Street.
Okay. Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is condemnation of the garage, issued on April 3rd of 2024. Appeal was received April 23rd of 2024, requesting for 90 days to complete abatement of the violations. Present for today's hearing, Acting Chief Building Official Glenn Murray, Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney and or representative please state your name for the record?
Shirley Green, Angelique Ogle.
Okay, Miss Green and Miss Ogle solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what your plans are.
The garage is already tore down. We got that done before we got the court date. It's done and over, which is what we were asking for the extension to do. Oh, yeah, we're done with it. Other than that, I would appreciate it if the inspector would speak to the people that live there instead of communicating everything to my neighbors.
Okay, so what you're saying is that the violation was for a condemnation of the garage and the garage is gone?
Yep.
And you got the permit to do that? Everything's taken care of?
Yep.
Did you get a final inspection on that?
Don't know how you do that.
Okay, then you're set.
And
Okay.
I was told by my neighbors that the inspector was back out taking pictures again, so obviously he knows it's gone.
Okay. All right, Mr. Murray.
Mr. Chairman, I'm gonna have to reach out to the inspector and find out what the status of this one is.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
we did receive the report that the inspector did close this compliant.
Okay, we'll give to today's date then. So motion is in order to have the violation abated by October 23rd, 2024. Motion.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Dank, second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Bradley, Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, no, you received notification within 2 weeks. Thank you.
They want to translate that into English now?
So the inspector did send me a report saying that he closed out the violation because you were compliant with tearing it down.
So you're done with me?
So we're done.
We can. Thank you.
Yes.
You're welcome. Okay, next docket is A 9224, 3581 West 127th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance.
That do the bottom one too.
No, I didn't put the lock on. Sorry, Mr. Chairman.
No problem.
Issued March 20th of 2024. Appeal was received April 17th of 2024, requesting for 90 days to complete abatement of the violation. Present for today's hearing, Acting Chief Building Official Glenn Murray, Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the owner and or his or her attorney or representative please state your name for the record? Mr. Chairman, I do not see a Lance Timmons or Harry and or Rowley Timmons in the participant panel, and they are not present in room 514 today.
Okay, Mr. Murray solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, Mr. Jacobson.
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, did notice of today's hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
And through the chairman to Ms. Davis, have you received any form of communication, an email, a voice message, or anything physically delivered to you on behalf of this appellant and or docket?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
To the chairman, the due process requirement of notice having been given to this appellant, the board can proceed with its hearing and ruling today. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Murray?
Mr. Chairman, I have no idea how bad this one is. I don't have any pictures or reports on it. I would say remand.
A motion is in order to deny more time, remand the property division of building and housing for any further action. Motion?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Dank, second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Bradley? Mr. Maskey?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Next docket is a housing docket A 9324, 7812 Dudley Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance. Issued on March 27th of 2024. Appeal was received May 3rd of 2024, requesting for 12 months to complete abatement of the violations. Present for today's hearing, Lynn Murray, Acting Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the owner or his or her attorney and or representative please state your name for the record?
I'm the owner.
Okay, can I get that last name again?
Yeah, it's Lakota, Lakota.
Okay, Mr. Lakota, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do, sir.
Okay, and tell us what your plans are.
I just need an extension on it. Need to talk about, he violated me for having the driveway, but the driveway has been there since I bought the house.
Okay, what was the violation on the driveway?
That it was what? That it was gravel, and it's always been there as gravel.
Okay,
I don't know if because I spruced it up and killed all the grass in it and was trying to clean it up and make it look nice, if they thought I had just put it in, but it's been there. I've got pictures from long, long ago when I first bought the house that it was like that. I can provide those.
okay,
And I'm just the second floor window there where we bored an exhaust fan behind that. He said he wants a window there. I can tell that some there after the fact. I have to have a window made for that size, or otherwise I would have already done it.
okay. What other, let's see, your violations are all exterior, so was that the extent of the violations?
Yeah, and the tenant had a car jacked up or something on the property that I used to have there. And I think he said something about the car being in the yard like that or something. I can't really remember.
Okay, yeah, we're seeing pictures of it. How much more time do you need?
6 months probably, or just till the weather gets nice at the start of the season, next season.
Let's go over to Mr. Murray. Mr. Murray,
Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, is this property currently rented?
No,
Okay. Mr. Chairman, the violations do not require a permit, and they don't seem to be very involved to repair them. I don't imagine it would take 6 months to get this place back in shape. However, if the board wants to grant that much time. The building department has no objection.
Any suggestions from the board?
Mr. Chairman, this is a business. This is somebody's business. And he is a landlord, and it seems like this should be something that they can take care of in a timely manner.
I agree.
I agree with that, and it's really not a weather-dependent activity necessarily.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I had a couple questions for the appellant.
Yes.
Through the chairman to the appellant, the property is owned by A&M Financial Services. Could you state your affiliation to that business?
I incorporated myself. They told me that it would be better for me to incorporate myself because I had bought a couple of houses and protect my personal asset. Now, since then, I've gotten rid of that lawyers. I'm going to be moving the houses just into my name.
Okay.
And
I see it. I'm sorry. Through the chairman to the appellant, I see a Kevin DeCare is affiliated with the business, and I'm not sure if you sent in the board here any authority for you to act on behalf of the business. I don't know if we have that.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
It was with the paperwork. I followed the instructions on the paperwork. And when it was weather dependent thing, the reason I was asking is because I had read that driveway be grandfathered in, and if the driveway thing is okay, then it is not weather dependent because I don't have to worry about the rest of it. I won't need 6 months to do that. It was the driveway that was the issue part.
Okay,
In
Mr.
the front door glass.
Yeah, I'll ask Mr. Murray about the driveway here. He's got gravel in the driveway. The gravel appears to be showing now. Maybe it was full of grass before and it didn't look like it was gravel. So any thoughts on that, Mr. Murray?
Mr. Chairman, I'd have to speak with my inspector to see what he saw. We have instances where people have chopped out the curb and put down gravel. However, if this has been a pre-existing gravel and we can document it, then there's really not a lot that we're gonna press. We're certainly not gonna ask him to hold up fixing anything else until the gravel is sorted out, though.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So forget about the gravel for the moment. How much time do you think you actually need now to abate the violations?
A month.
Okay, very good. All right, so November 22nd, 30 days, 2024, to abate the violations. Motion
So moved.
moved by Mr. Maskey,
Second.
second by Mr. Denk.
Mr. Bradley? Mr. Maschke?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes. Okay, a notification will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Can you go back to the previous photo?
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Chairman, can you go back to the previous photo? Yeah, I'm gonna.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman, he has a concrete apron.
I see that.
He has an existing concrete apron and an existing curb cut. I'm wondering if this driveway was originally blacktop and is just so deteriorated that it just looks like gravel at this point?
Okay,
No.
Mr. Lakota, can you answer that?
No, it was never asphalt. It's always been gravel.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to speak with our inspector, and this might be something that the appellant would wish to appeal to, when he comes back, when everything else is done, to maintain the gravel driveway.
Okay. All right, so we got the motion already set for taking care of the other part of the violation, and if that needs to come up or file a new violation on the driveway, then fine and dandy. He can appeal it or whatever. Okay, you'll be notified within 2 weeks.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, next docket, housing docket A99-24, 7927 Jones Road.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is no permit and condemnation of the garage. Issued on April 26th of 2024. Appeal was received May 14th of 2024. Requesting for 2 years to complete abatement of the violation. Present for today's hearing, Acting Chief Billing Official, Liam Norrie, Dan Jacobson Law. Will the appellant or his or her attorney and or representative please state your name for the record?
Michael Ramirez.
Okay, Mr. Ramirez, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, what's the plans here?
Well, I wasn't sure what the violations were, when I purchased the property in 2010. The garage was, I actually have 3 outbuildings, in that garage. Everything was taken out of it by thieves. So all the copper, all the electric is out of it. I've spent the last 14 years, working on it piece by piece, basically 8 feet at a time. And I understand that I need a permit because I'm changing it from an A-frame to a flat roof. I will get that permit. But as far as timing, I am doing all the work myself. And, you know, financially, I'm doing it by donations. So I don't know, there's nothing in the garage. I pulled everything out so that I can do work on it, but I work on it during the summers. And this past summer, I wasn't able to do any work on it because my neighbor pled guilty to threatening my life and threatening to mutilate my wife. So I just finished that court case. So I really hadn't had anything to do during the summer, but I also had a cease and desist. So yes, the garage needs work. I took out a loan of $50,000 and I've already spent that. I'm going to continue to work on that, but I purchased the property for $17,500. It's now insured for over $450,000. So I've been working on this consistently. I will continue to work on this consistently. But with 2 heart attacks and a limited income of $1,200 a month, this is going to take some time.
Okay, Mr. Ramirez, do you live here?
I do. My wife and I live there. And like I said, we've been working on that property since the day we got in there because it was totally gutted.
Okay, so the violations are no permit. You said you're gonna take care of that. And
Yes, I can get a permit.
okay, and there was a condemnation on the garage and you have taken care.
I have no idea what that's about. It's a cinder block base with I-beam support. The thing's been there over 100 years. It's solid. But again, I'm working on the front end of it, which is still the A-frame, and that is in deterioration. I have it tarped. So it is gonna take some time, but I don't think you show any, you have just one small picture of the front. And I had an external canopy that the wind destroyed, that I had, you know, some odds and ends there because I have nothing inside the garage so that I can work on. I'm going to be redoing the foundation, or not the foundation, the flooring. It was wood back in 1902, and that wood has, you know, been eaten, so it's now dirt. And I'm going to make a new floor on it. So that's why there's nothing inside the garage.
Okay, Mr. Murray.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, when did you buy this property?
I bought it May 1st of 2010. And I've been working on both inside during the winters and outside during the summers. I've already invested over $40,000 in the main house, and I took out a loan for $50,000, and I need more.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, do these, have you removed any of the detritus or
What's
junk
detritus?
junk vehicles?
Those aren't junk vehicles. That vehicle I'm actually donating. I'm waiting for someone, but again, I have no junk vehicles. was a used car dealer and I own 5 vehicles. All of them are, well, one of them needs a transmission. But other than that, that car is in perfect working condition. I'm actually donating it to North Carolina for the relief efforts down there.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, may I ask how old you are?
I'm 62, I just retired, and my income is now $1,200 a month.
Mr. Chairman, I don't really see any hope of bringing this thing into any kind of compliance. I mean, is there some kind of assistance available for this gentleman because of his age? I would say to the building department, remand. I don't see any light at the end of this tunnel.
Okay, so because he couldn't even, I don't think, fathom a time frame going forward to abate the violations. Is that correct?
Well, no, I don't know what the violations are. If someone's saying that this building should be condemned, I've invested a lot of money into it. I'm gonna continue to invest money in it. I'm going to make it functional. But again, it's not, no one's gonna be living there. It's basically an outbuilding. So I'm gonna put my tractor in there, which you can't see, but my tractor is there. I have, lawn equipment. I purchased the property, the vacant lot next to me. So there are things that I need to do. I would definitely appreciate any assistance that the city can give me. I've had 2 heart attacks. I've got 3 stents. And I dislocated my shoulder. So, I'm limited in what I can do, but I do hire people from the neighborhood. And I have other people that help me with donation of time in that. But because I don't know exactly what you want me to do, other than get a permit, I'm just asking, don't condemn the place. There's really nothing wrong with the structure.
Mr. Chairman, the property has already been condemned. It's not a pending condemnation. I would say remand. I just don't see any way out of this. Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, have you hired an architect or a design professional?
Of course not.
Okay.
I haven't done that, but if I need to do so, I thought I was doing repairs and that repairs didn't require a permit. What I have is a crazy neighbor who, called you guys because I took him to court. Now, you're saying that it's already been condemned. I don't understand how you can condemn a structure that is solid. It's been up for over 100 years. With all the winds that we had, we lost power for 4 days. And this structure didn't get an ounce of damage. So I'm willing, I have plans here, to finish it. But again, with my limited income, I don't see unless it's necessary, I don't see the need to hire an architect.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I think that I concur with Mr. Murray in the city's position that we should remand this to the city. This does not preclude the appellant from continuing to work on this project, but it allows the city to closely monitor this. I don't necessarily agree with the appellant that just because a building's 100 years old, that it's sound. Buildings take maintenance. And from these photos, it's very difficult to tell, but it probably does require some maintenance, particularly if it is truly cinder block. I don't think cinder block is the most stout material over 100-year time.
If I may, Mr. Chairman?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so last year I had the whole cinder block re-grouted. Okay, so again, there were cracks and things like that in it. I had that. I have been doing maintenance over the last 14 years. The upper structure that you see, that is something I did.
Mr. Chairman, the appellant stated that he purchased this property in 2010.
2010, right?
He said 2020.
No, sir.
2010. Okay.
2020 would have
My
been.
mistake, sir.
Yes. 2010. I do agree with the previous gentleman, I think it was Mr. Matsky, okay, that I will be getting the permit. I just don't understand what remanding to the building board, what that means. But if you want my biggest issue this summer was I was precluded from doing any more maintenance on the structure. Now, if I understand correctly, I will be able to continue to work on it, and it will be supervised or sought after by the city, and I'm fine with that.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, how much time do you need to clean this property up?
I don't know exactly what cleaning up means to you, so.
Well, to get it to where there are no more violations.
Right, but I don't know what the violations are. That hasn't been made clear to me.
Yeah, I think Mr. Maskey, Mr. Maskey, you're on the right track with the motion is in order to deny more time, remand the property division of building and housing for any further action.
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Chairman,
Second.
Yeah,
Yes.
second by Mr. Denk. Now, before we take the vote, just a little explanation, and if I'm saying something out of turn, Mr. Murray will correct me, but basically, when this gets underneath what the city's able to put this in their hands, as long as you're working on this and you're making progress and you're doing something, and you're working with an inspector, I don't think you're gonna have a problem, but the city has the right to take you to court. I mean, basically, that's what this does. What we can't do is give you an open end on time. And that's why we're doing it in this matter, so that you can continue and fix your property, okay?
Yes, sir.
But, okay, Mr. Murray, is that?
Mr. Chairman, the city would ask that we have a plan and permits submitted. And we want, an overall plan for the site and specific plans on how each of these structures will be fixed and brought up to code. And we would like a date certain to have these plans submitted and permits pulled.
Mr. Murray, it doesn't sound like he can give you that information, which is why we made the motion that we made. He's been asked a couple times, once by you, once by Mr. Maskey, and he's not certain on when he can do all this, which is why we're gonna put it underneath your order to be able to oversee the property. So that's the motion. We need to take a vote on it. Ms. Davis?
I'm sorry, Mr. Bradley? Mr. Maskey?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes. Okay, a notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, just brief discussion on that matter. Did you provide a date certain? I didn't make note of
He
that.
did not, and he's not providing one, which is one of the reasons why we did the motion that we did.
It was in
We're gathered.
the night.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, housing docket A 102-24, 10206 Clifton Boulevard.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is no permit, rental registration, and unauthorized illegal use issued on April 18th of 2024. Appeal was received May 16th of 2024. Applicant was requesting 2 to 3 months additional time to complete abatement of the violations. Present for today's hearing, Glenn Murray, Acting Chief Building Official, Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the owner or his or her attorney and or representative please state your name for the record?
Jeremy Tomsic, owner.
Tomsic? Okay, is that, okay. Solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what your plans are.
Sure. So I did go ahead and pay the rental registration on the unit. It is a 2-family home. I've been living there since 2022, and I have the other unit is rented out by a long-term tenant. I do plan on getting the further evaluation of the downspout gutter issue and the existing standpipe that was original. I was aware of this issue when I did purchase the property, specifically of the downspouts and those standpipes. But I wanted to again get some further expertise. But I do plan on getting a permit submitted and that plan and permit submitted by the end of the year.
Okay, Mr. Murray.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, when you say standpipes, tell me what part you're referring to?
In front of the barrel, or I should say in back of the barrel on the east side, that corner picture, the downspout was at one point connected. It looks like it looks like it was filled in. So I just wanted to clean that out. But yeah, that was a workaround at the time to try to get something to get away that water from the house.
And Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, what is the end picture that you want to have, the end result?
Oh, the water to remain as far away from the house as possible.
With respect to where the pipes are running, do you see them buried or do you see them continuing across the surface of the building like this?
Buried.
Okay. And Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, is this related to the roof permit, or did you purchase this after they did there was a roof permit in 2020? Is that before you purchased?
Correct.
Okay. And how long, again, were you thinking it would take to get this sorted?
I'd like to get something done by the end of the year, just with winter coming, and just I really trying to get motivated to get this moving going.
Well, Mr. Chairman, the building department has no objections.
Okay, motion is in order to grant till December 22nd, 2024 to abate the violations. Motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Denk, second by Mr. Maschke.
Mr. Bradley? Mr. Maschke?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next docket, housing docket A103 -24 419 West Shaft Road.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is fire damage and condemnation of the shed and garage. Issued on May 1st of 2024. Appeal was received May 16th of 2024. Applicant did not request any time for complete abatement of the violations. Present for today's hearing, Acting Chief Building Official Glenn Murray, Dan Jacobs Law. With the appellate or his or her attorney and or representative, please state your name for the record. Mr. Chairman, I do not see Catherine Persetto in the participant panel. Or is that person present in room 514 today?
Okay, Mr. Murray, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, Mr. Jacobson.
Through the chairman and Ms. Davis, did notice of today's hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
And through the chairman and Ms. Davis, have you received any form of communication, an email, a voice message, or anything physically delivered to you on behalf of this appellant and or docket?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
To the chairman, the due process requirement of notice having been given to this appellant, the board can proceed with its hearing and ruling today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Murray.
Mr. Chairman, I do not see, due to lack of response, I don't see anything we can do but remand.
Okay, a motion is in order to deny more time, remand the property Division of Building and Housing for any further action. Motion,
So moved.
moved by Mr. Dank,
Second,
second by Mr. Maschke, okay.
Mr. Bradley, Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Dinks,
yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks, thank you. Okay, housing docket A, 105-24, 9508 Union Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance. Issued on April 16th of 2024. Appeal was received May 16th of 2024, requesting for 6 months to complete abatement of the violations. Present for today's hearing, Acting Chief Building Official Glenn Murray, Dan Jacobson Law. Would the appellant or his or her attorney and or representative please state your name for the record? Mr. Chairman, I do not see Nick Drake of East Central Wealth in the participant panel online, nor is that person present in room 514 today.
Mr. Murray solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Mr. Jacobson?
Through the chairman and Ms. Davis, did notice of today's hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
And through the chairman and Ms. Davis, have you received any form of communication, an email, a voice message, or anything physically delivered to you on behalf of this appellant and or docket?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
Through the chairman, the due process requirement of notice having been given to this appellant, the board can proceed with its hearing and move it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Murray?
Mr. Chairman, the building department would ask that you remand.
Motion is in order to deny more time, remand the property Division of Building and Housing for any further action.
So moved.
Okay, motion by Mr. Maschke,
Second,
second by Mr. Dank.
Mr. Bradley, Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Okay, housing docket A, 106-24, 3535 Rocky River Drive.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is exterior maintenance. Issued on April 12th of 2024. Appeal was received on May 5th of 2024, requesting. Applicant did not request any time to complete abatement of the violations. Present for today's hearing, Acting Chief Building Official Glenn Murray, Dan Jacobson Law. Would the appellant or his or her attorney and or representative please state your name for the record?
Heather Carey.
Okay, Ms. Carey, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what the plans are.
Okay, I have here my husband Patrick Carey with me.
Hello.
Oh, wait, who do you have with you?
My husband Patrick Carey.
Oh, okay. Mr. Carey, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, go ahead and proceed.
Okay, so we started tackling the list of violations, and then we had an oak tree that started dropping limbs. These limbs that were dropping were as big as a tree themselves, and so our attention was diverted to addressing those, and then the storm came on August the 6th, dropped a few more limbs, And then I just decided to team up with a friend and some resources. We rented a 65-foot aerial man lift, and we removed the tree. We felled it over. We're still dealing with that. So that the work is in progress. It's ongoing. We have every intention of getting it done. I just had a surgery Monday. I had a hernia operation. I'm going to be down and out for a little bit, but the work is continuing. It's ongoing. We're requesting more time.
How much more?
I don't know. Can I get this done before the winter?
I don't know with your hernia surgery.
So I've got somebody coming over to manage the wood. I don't know. Could I have through the winter?
Through the winter. I would think you did. Well, I would think you put that out there. People will take the wood, to be honest with you. Let's go over to Mr. Murray.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, before the tree, and I have to commend you on making the site safe by proactively having the tree removed. Before it came down, what was your schedule to get everything else sorted, to get the violations correct?
So we started tackling the gutters first in the front of the house. I don't have the list in front of me. We did do a number of things. So we did clear out a lot of overgrowth and shrubbery that took over.
Another storm.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, how are your relations with your neighbors?
Fine. Pretty good. They're understanding. They're good neighbors. Some are even helpful. Some have helped with some of the
Storm removal.
storm removal. Yeah.
If we give you 6 months, is everything going to be cleared out? I see this fence here. Does that get taken out? Does that get fixed?
I'm going to remove that fence.
Okay. If we give you 6 months, can we get everything buttoned up in this place looking spick and span again?
Absolutely. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, the building department would have no objection to an extension.
Okay. Motion is in order for April 22nd, 2025. That would give you 6 months. Motion?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Dank,
Second.
second by Mr. Maschke.
Mr. Bradley? Mr. Maschke?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out within 2 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, housing docket A 110-24, 2110 West 104th Street.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance. Issued on May 9th of 2024. Appeal was received May 21st of 2024, requesting for 90 days to complete abatement of the violations. Present for today's hearing, Acting Chief Building Official Glenn Murray, Dan Jacobson, Law. Will the appellate or his or her attorney and or representative please state your name for the record?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Attorney Clinton Preslin appearing on behalf of A Clean House LLC.
Okay, Mr. Presley, is it?
Preslin.
Presley. Okay, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Moving forward, my client could not be here today to testify because the house is currently being inspected. I was in contact with her at 9:30 along with the inspector who represented to me by telephone that he intends to close out this violation quite possibly as soon as this afternoon. Therefore, we would ask that this be moved to the November 20th meeting so that the violation could be closed and then we can withdraw the appeal.
Ms. Davis,
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
is that possible?
Give me 1 second. So you would like to reschedule this to the November 20th or give them to November 20th? What is the question?
We're gonna reschedule till it can be reheard. That's my understanding. So we're not gonna take any action on this if it gets rescheduled.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I can reschedule this for November 20th.
Okay, you're rescheduled.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
All right, next docket, housing docket A 112-24. 12621 North Road.
Mr. Chairman, this was withdrawn. We received notice from this appellant this morning that the violations are abated and they have withdrawn their appeal.
Okay, very good. It's withdrawn. We'll move on to the adjudication order, housing docket A 183-24, 1555 East 118th Street.
Application and fees are in order. This is an adjudication order number B as in boy 24020114-1 of the Fire Prevention Bureau, issued on October 3rd of 2024. Appeal was received on October 7th of 2024. Present for today's hearing, Acting Chief Billing Official Lynn Murray, Dan Jacobson Law. We do have personnel from the Division of Fire here. Could you please state your name for the record?
Lieutenant Alexiak, Cleveland Fire Department.
Okay. Let's take a look. So who do we have for representing the adjudication order for the person, the owner of the LLC?
I'm Kevin Oliver with Oliver Architecture.
Okay. Are you by yourself? Is that it?
The owners, Carmen Amarino and Jeffrey Schweikert, are here as well.
Are they going to be giving testimony?
I don't believe so.
Okay. All right. Mr. Oliver, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God.
I do.
Along with Lieutenant Alexiak also.
I do.
Okay. All right. I think we're all set. Go ahead and let us know, Mr. Oliver, what the plans are here.
Sure. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. We are proposing a new multifamily building with 14 units in it. It is next to two existing multifamily residences, and the occupancy classification is R3. So each of our units have individual egress out of their unit without any shared common egress components. The site area is limited. So as the site plan shows, our proposed building is towards the south of the site with a 5-foot and 5'6" setback from the property line. We have a 20-foot drive into the site. And the configuration of the units are that the first floor units are single story, separated from each other, and the units above them with the required 1-hour fire rated construction. The second units are on top of the first floor units, so it's a total of, there's one unit on top of a second unit, doesn't go any more stacked than that. And each of the units extends as you get into the depth of the site from the north side of the site to the south side. So there's no intervening corridors or spaces. Each unit has egress openings to the north and to the south to facilitate any egress needed there. Our fire access plan had shown there's a hydrant to the north, approximately 120 feet away from the northern corner of the building, as well as indicating the fire vehicle access on the street, and its 150-foot access doesn't extend the full perimeter of the building. But we're requesting the waiver given the occupancy of the building, its configuration, site limitations. It has a NFPA 13 sprinkler system throughout, and the separations between the units.
Okay, Lieutenant Alexiak, have you had a chance to review all this?
I have.
Okay. Your comments?
My adjudication order, for the most part, speaks for itself. We have not only a limited access site, it's a no access site. In this scenario, what we're looking at when buildings start being built upwards, when our vertical distance exceeds 30 feet, the International Fire Code and what we have, the Ohio Building Code refers to the International Fire Code until the new Ohio Fire Code comes out later this fall. And those work together. We're a model code state, so that's what's great about them. Essentially, you can look at chapter 9 in the International Fire Code, and it's almost verbatim in the Ohio Fire Code. In this scenario, when we start getting above 30 feet in height of buildings, we start going into what's called aerial apparatus access. There's apparatus access and there's aerial apparatus access. First things first, their plans don't show, the plans that they show for apparatus access don't meet the minimum requirements that are given in the fire code, okay? The inside radiuses, the turns, etc. You can see from the apparatus access that they're showing here, that's through a parking lot, okay? That's a parking lot, that's not an apparatus access road. Although we've granted that in the past for areas, say, for existing structures, existing buildings, say for downtown, the older neighborhoods on the east side and west side, for brick type 1, 2, and 3 construction, that's what those tools are there for, okay? And we work with that. When we're dealing with new construction, this is not the point to be starting from. If this is the point we're starting from on new construction, your structure is too large. You're creating a structure from the very beginning that has no access. That is not the intent of these codes. Take this further now. We're above the 30-foot mark, right? In terms of height. We are now moving into what is aerial apparatus access. The fire code gives us specific parameters as to the access that is needed as a minimum for aerial apparatus access. In this scenario where the plan is showing those openings of the buildings to the north on the parking lot side, an aerial apparatus would need to have full access along that full length of that side of the building. And then the ability to turn around and get out. Second, it states the apparatus, the closest that access road, the closest that it can be to that side of the building, the closest it can be is 15 feet, no greater than 30 feet, which essentially puts it into what that plan is showing is existing building A. So I'm not seeing a path forward here. The fire code gives them an exception. It says when they're not able to meet that, you can build the building out of type 1 or 2 construction and then fully sprinkler the building with an NFPA 13 sprinkler system, not an NFPA 13R. And I know the appellant did not mean to misspeak, but their plans show their sprinkler system as an NFPA 13R, which is an entirely different sprinkler system. For those of us that know, and those I'll just restate for those that don't that are here, an NFPA 13R in a type 5 wood combustible constructed building only delays a fire long enough for the occupants to exit the occupancy. It does not extinguish the fire entirely. So the building will still burn down if it is not put out, if it is not extinguished, okay? Versus an NFPA 13 system, which is designed not only to protect the occupants, but to protect the building as well and keep it from burning down. So what we have here in what is being proposed is a 3 and 4 story structure without access, made out of type 5 combustible construction with an inadequate sprinkler system. It is set up to fail. What we're looking at is essentially not a square peg in a round hole. It's a square peg that's 2 to 3 times the size of the square hole it's trying to be put into. I am not seeing a path forward for this without the appellant proposing this as a type 1, 2, or 3 construction. And that's without even getting into the egress and access. We notice the doors, like I said, where people are coming in and out of these, I believe it's townhomes or multifamily dwellings. They're to the parking lot side. I mean, that does not work in this scenario.
Okay. Mr. Oliver, you have a comment to anything that's been said here?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The building structure to the parapet height in the 3-story sections is approximately 32 feet. We can adjust that to meet the 30-foot requirement. And I believe that at the 4-story sections with fire access from the street, I don't want to misspeak here, but I believe that fire access area for aerial apparatus would be adequate there. So if that, I know Lieutenant Alexiak pointed out other items as well, but in terms of addressing the aerial apparatus access, we can make that adjustment to comply with the letter of that requirement. I think in response to some of the other points there, I understand those comments, and again, our request is that the, with providing the sprinkler system and the fire code exception to the apparatus access road and distances for the 150 feet from the vehicle, and the sort of the configuration of the building itself, where the exits are located. Those exits to the north, the paved surface is the 20-foot width, but the roadway is delineated in a narrower width to provide a walking path out of those units that isn't paved roadway, but still would allow for vehicle access if deemed reasonable and allowable.
Well, it doesn't sound to me by Lieutenant's comments that he's claiming there's no access, okay, especially for a new building. And so that's a hurdle you're going to have to get over. The sprinkler system that you're referring to, he's saying is inadequate. And so it sounds to me like you have some work to do in order to get fire on board, because I'll tell you, this board is not going to grant a variance to something that that the fire is not okay with. All right. We can grant variances where they're on board, and then we'll need to do that. But this sounds like you need a lot more work to this. Any other comments by any of the board members?
Mr. Chairman, to Lieutenant Alexiak, as just a point of clarification, if the construction type is changed to a 1 or a 2, and it's an NFPA 13 sprinkler system, does that relieve some number of these conditions, or does it relieve all of them?
Mr. Chairman to the board, it allows for consideration. It does not answer all of the issues with this site, because even then, the 150-foot distances that the appellant is showing on his drawing are lines on a map, are lines on a plan. The 150-foot distance is if it's approved. It's showing a 150-foot distance, but if we read the code, the point of that means it has to be an approved access of 150 feet from the right of way, meaning you have to be able to walk that distance with hose lines and ladders. we can't even get around that building to the south side or the rear of the occupancy. So if the appellant is going to propose another scenario, yes, type 1 and type 2 construction is the place to start, but we would still have to reevaluate or evaluate what his access is.
Understood.
Okay, so in my opinion is that you're a little premature. You need to get fire on board, and you need to get to go over this with them point by point, which I'm surprised you didn't do that in the beginning, to know what is going to be acceptable and not. And it sounds like there's a few problems here that you need to overcome. So I would suggest, I guess, that you that we're not going to rule on this, and that you're going to work some of this out with fire. Maybe like he said, Mr. Denk had mentioned about changing the rating and that possibility. I don't know how you overcome the access, but you know, maybe there's a way to do that, but I think you need to have discussions with fire in order to do that. So I would say that that we're just going to have to postpone this and move you back until you can get that done.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Emarino is asking to testify.
He'll need to be sworn in, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Mr. Emarino, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to, make some comments from the ownership and possibly clarify some of the statements that were here earlier in regards to this case here. Just to clarify, there is no living on the 4th floor. This is a 3-story structure, as Mr. Oliver had indicated. It's a first floor units. Floors 2 and 3 are the units stacked on top of that. The 4th floor that the lieutenant was referring to is a rooftop deck access. There is no living space up in those areas aside from a conditioned stairwell for access. That was one of the things that I wanted to be clear about. The second thing was in terms of firefighter foot access around the perimeter of the building. 5.5 feet has been provided. We've been before this board on other projects within the past 12 months that have been granted a variance for similar access around the perimeter of a building. It was designed that way. And once again, just to reiterate what Mr. Oliver had discussed on our behalf, is that this was designed with the 20-foot access going into the site so that fire trucks can get there. The materials are lineated there, but it is a 20-foot clearance for that reason. Additionally, to the south elevation, there are new townhomes development that's already been completed and done, which also offers an additional 20-foot access road to the south on the neighboring parcel. I thought it was something that needed to be clarified here, because I feel as though these issues, are partially mitigated by some of these circumstances here.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Lieutenant, does that take care of anything?
Mr. Chairman, to the board, no. I'm happy to have a meeting with ownership and Mr. Oliver and show them why this scenario does not work, nor do the considerations of the surrounding properties apply.
Mr. Chairman, to Mr. Emarino, is the 20-foot access on the properties adjacent to the south, has it been granted an easement access?
It is not an easement access, no. It is for a different property, but it was brought up just to clarify that there is still truck access in the event of an emergency.
So there's, Mr. Chairman, to Mr. Emarino, there's nothing preventing the adjacent property from building on that particular part of their parcel.
There is, because it's the only access into their site as well.
Okay, I still think, this, we're gonna have to reschedule this and work out, you're gonna have to work out with, fire until they're on board with what you're doing here. And, then if we need variances, we can grant them, as long as they're on board with it. So, go ahead.
Can we ask that our previous attempts to sit down and have a meeting with fire went unanswered or unresponded to? So we would like to, just have it on the record that we will be given the opportunity to have a meeting with Fire Lieutenant Olesiak to try to work through some of these items.
Okay, Lieutenant, that doesn't seem like it's a problem, right?
None whatsoever, Mr. Chairman. I'm available all day this Friday and then the following Monday between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. I'm happy to schedule. If Mr. Oliver, I believe, has my email address, we can schedule that after this hearing.
Correct.
Okay, so we're gonna move this. This is gonna have to move to a different date, and we'll get with Ms. Davis to set up another time to hear this, and so we'll take no action on this now.
Thank you.
Okay, so that'll close out this docket.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Sir, what address are you here for?
1614 East 49th Street, Cleveland, Ohio.
Mr. Chairman, we had somebody walk in late. We're just gonna see if.
We still have two other
still
documents.
got
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next docket, which is a permit extension housing docket A 11-24 2208 East 81st Street.
Application and fees are in order. This is a request for a permit extension to B permit 210-08305, P permit 210-08895, and H permit 210-08898, issued on April 13th of 2021. An inspection was done on January 4th of 2024. The inspector recommended that it be closed, suspended, or abandoned work. The applicant did not request how much additional time they needed on these permits. But present for today's hearing, Acting Chief Billing Official Glenn Murray, Dan Jacobson Law. Will the owner or his or her attorney and or representative please state your name for the record?
Leslie King.
Okay, Mr. King, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, go ahead and let us know what you're looking for.
I think there's a mix-up in this request for appearance today. I'm not scheduled until December 4th.
No, you.
I had no knowledge of anything except for saying December 4th. That's what I had. This came today with something for 80th Street address. That's when it came to turn around. That's what it's stated for. Let's see. Excuse my limping, but my back is killing me.
I'm not catching a lot of this. Ms. Davis, what's happening?
He was originally scheduled, a tentative schedule for December 4th. Things have changed and your hearing date was updated.
I have no knowledge of the change. And the hearing notice that I got for today's court has property address 2207 DC. I have no notice of anything else.
Mr. Chairman, how do you wish to proceed?
Is he prepared for this now, or?
No, I was not prepared for the one on 81st Street. I was prepared for the one on 80th Street. That's the hearing notice that I had. And I was gonna cite that I had not no violations on any that I know of.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellant,
Mr. Murray, go ahead, Mr. Murray.
since the applicant has made this effort to get down here today, are you willing to answer? Is this your property, the 2208 East 81st? Are you willing to tell us what it is you want to do there and what you would like to see?
We have contractors now looking at it, and they were prepared for December 4th.
Okay, so you
And
have.
as of right now, that's the last thing.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, you have new contractors looking at this one.
Yes.
And the old permit was from 2020 and the work stopped.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, so it's your intention to hire new contractors?
Is he sworn in?
We already hired him.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, we swore him in.
So you're bringing in new contractors. Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, would they have any problem pulling new permits to do the work that's gonna be in their name? Because if they walk in on the old permit, there might be questions about how it's done.
Only thing I know is we're due to come in on December 4th.
Okay.
I've talked to him as recently as 2-3 days ago.
Okay.
And that date still stands in his mind.
All right.
And he said we're gonna meet soon to talk and discuss it again, December 4th.
Through the chair, it appears based on what's gone on with what he's received, are you requesting that you come back on December 4th?
That's what I was scheduled for now. I mean, back is on the problem.
I think that's criminal. I'm not sure if you have a problem with that, Mr. Chairman, because it appears he's not prepared to answer some of these questions.
Okay. Well, can we put him back on for December 6th? Was that what he was requesting? Or that's what he was originally scheduled, right?
December 4th, yes.
December 4th? Ms. Davis?
No, it shouldn't be a problem, Mr. Chairman.
Well, let's do that.
You
He'll
know,
have his contractors in place by then and he can. And I don't think it's gonna hurt anything. Mr. Murray, you got a problem with that?
I don't, Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, if you're contractors and you have access, you can do this electronically to save you coming downtown.
Whatever he said, whatever. The problem for me is whatever his schedule is. His schedule is supposed to be the same day as mine.
Mr. Chairman, it sounds like the intention is to pull new permits and not extend the old permits since they're gonna have new contractors on the job anyway.
Okay, well, we can respond to that now then, if that's what it is. Because if he's getting new permits, then we can just say deny the extension and he's gonna pull new permits. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, let's handle that now then. We're going to deny any more time on these particular permits and we will not extend them. Motion?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Banks, second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Bradley, Mr. Maskey,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay. We might see you back again, maybe.
But Mr. Chairman, if they pull new permits and this permit is no longer extended, do we even need to see him again?
No, not necessarily, because you'll have new permits. He can carry on.
Thank you, Mr. King.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
Next docket is a permit extension housing docket A9024. 10916 Grantwood Avenue.
Application and fees are as word. This is a permit extension request for B permit 180324439 and H permit 180378819 issued on November 8th of 2018 Inspection was conducted on April 12th of 2024. Inspector report cited that the work was abandoned and or suspended. Present for today's hearing, Acting Chief Building Official Glenn Murray, Dan Jacobson Law. Would the appellant or his or her attorney and or representative please state your name for the record? Mr. Chairman, I do not see a Prince Robinson in the participant panel live or present in room 514 today.
Okay, Mr. Murray solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, Mr. Jacobson.
Through the chairman to Ms. Davis, did notice of today's hearing get returned to the board's file for any reason?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
And through the chairman to Ms. Davis, have you received any form of communication, an email, voice message, or anything physically delivered to you on behalf of this appellant and or docket?
Through the chair to Mr. Jacobson, no.
To the chairman, the due process requirement of notice having been given to this appellant, the board can proceed with the hearing and ruling today. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Murray.
Mr. Chairman, I ask that you deny the extension.
Okay, motion is in order to deny the extension of the permits.
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Dank, second by Mr. Maschke.
Mr. Bradley, Mr. Maschke,
Yes.
Mr. Dink,
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher.
Yes. Okay, notice will be sent out to him within 2 weeks. We have another permit extension, building docket A 113-24, 6610 Lansing Avenue.
Application and fees are in order. This is a permit extension request for B permit to 10-03919, H permit to 10-04165, and P permit to 10-04162. Issued on May 1st of 2021. Inspection was conducted on May 3rd of 2024. Inspector report that the work was either suspended and or abandoned. Present for today's hearing, Acting Chief Building Official Glenn Murray, Dan Jacobson Law. Will the owner or his or her attorney and or representative please state your name for the record?
May Johnson.
Can you come up here? Yeah, sure.
Okay, Ms. Johnson, solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, Johnson.
Johnson, correct. Okay. And go ahead and let us know why you're requesting this.
Okay, so originally I pulled a permit prior to that permit, and that permit closed. The inspection was done. Then I caught a couple snacks. First of all, I bought it in an area that was quite drug infested, which is off of Lansing and 65th. Since the new council person, they done pretty much cleaned up the area, so I haven't had a problem. So it seemed like every time I put work in, and there's a couple of police reports out there where they break in, took the permits out, broke in and all that. So then, just when I pulled the permit, when I re-pulled the permits in March, I was diagnosed with cancer in September, and I'm still a cancer patient. So I had colon cancer, so I was down. My first cancer episode was September. They removed part of my colon. Now it's then spread it to my liver, so I'm pretty much, but I'm still working. So I'm still working on the property. I clean up the outside. There's no, the yard, I keep it maintained. I put the fence up. The security doors are on. I have been paying the electric service since then. So at night, the lights come on the outside. So there's no destruction as far as it being an eyesore in the neighborhood. There's a mural on the front. So I maintain the property on a regular. So what I'm asking, so when I talked to Franklin during COVID, he said just continue to work off. He's no longer chief, but I went to him. I sat down with him personally. He said just as long as I continue to work on the, I can work under the old permits. And then I talked to, so the electrical permit is closed. The furnace, the plumbing inspection needs to just be inspected. And then I have to put the furnace back in. But I am doing the work myself. I've been a contractor for City of Cleveland since 1990. So I am physically doing the work. My health is better. So I am actively out every day, but in the summertime, I cut all my other yards. So during the summer, I cut my yard so the city won't come and cut my grass. So I got a zero turn, and I do exterior maintenance on my other properties during the summer. So my plan was to pull the appeal. Now that cutting season is over, work on this over the winter, and I'm almost 100% sure that I can bring this property all the way back. The outside is painted, the wall got painted, the grass is maintained. So it's pretty much, you don't walk down and say, oh, I put the fence off with the gate so the crackheads quit going in the backyard. And then I put a fence on the side, so there's no access. Last year, when I went to work on, I was working on the property last year. So when I was putting a new window, so behind the boards are actually windows. So the windows are there, but it's boarded up. Because when I put the big picture window in last year, that young man, Keyshawn Williams, turned up missing in that neighborhood. City, police had me out there 4 hours because they heard me banging. So somebody said that the young man that's still missing was in my property. So not only did they take the lock off my container, they also kicked my door in looking for this young man that's not there. So once they broke in, then every time something happens, it's just a setback, like, oh, don't touch that right now. But right now, quiet, nobody's bothering anything. The house across the street, they tore down. So pretty much, I know I can go at it. It was an older guy, that lived 2 doors down. He passed away last year, and his son passed away it'd be like June, who was keep an eye on everything, but I'm always down there. So I just want an extension, so I could just finish it out, and I'm pretty sure I can finish it out. Cause I do have some help now. I got a young man, he's 32, but he comes to help me. The property inside is super clean. There's nothing on the outside. So I just want the time just to go in there and finish it. And I'm pretty sure over the winter, I can get y'all all closed out.
Okay, so how much time do you think you need?
Just 6 months. I just want the winter. I don't know what the weather's gonna do, but I ain't got no problem working in with my blower. I got all the equipment, and I'm pretty sure I can bring that. And my plan is to bring that all the way back. My plan ain't to step, like I said, the windows, all the materials have been purchased already. I did go to SoFi. They gave me a $25 loan, so I do have the resources to complete that project and bring it back.
And this is a rental property, right?
Yeah, and like the first year I caught was the way it's made, they kept thinking it was a storefront with a house in the back. But when I went to the archives, it's actually just a 3-family home. That's it. But that ain't how it kept coming up. So at first, when I first got it, they wouldn't even let me pull the permits because they kept thinking it was a mixed use. But it's not a mixed use. It is listed in the archives as a single family 3-bedroom home.
Okay. Mr. Murray?
Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, do you expect to call for regular inspections?
Yes, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be up with them. I talked to the main inspector. I was working with Gary at first. And then I know I got a new young man. I know he's in my phone. And I do call him. I update him in the morning. I know to call in the morning. And I ain't got no problem with them coming in and taking it. But I kept catching the snag because of the drugs. And then what happened to the young man?
Mr. Chairman, the building department has no objection to the extension requested.
Okay, and she's requesting through, February? Is that through April of next year? Okay, April 22nd, 2025 to abate the violations not abate, to extend the permit.
Yes. Mr. Chairman, you broke up. What was that date, please?
It would be extended to, April 22nd, 2025.
Okay.
Motion so in order.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Dink,
Second.
by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Bradley? Mr. Maskey?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes. We have one more docket, is that correct?
Yes, you're done.
Thank you. Appreciate them. I'll get it done.
Docket 8924 has showed up. Give me 1 second. By Mr. Nash here. So it's docket 8924.
Docket 8924, we're gonna reopen
Yes, sir.
1614 East 49th Street.
Yes, sir.
Application and fees are in order. Notice of violation is interior and exterior maintenance. Appellant issued on May 1st of 2024. I'm assuming this date's supposed to be May 29th of 2029. The appeal was accepted. Present for today's hearing, Chief Building Official Glenn Murray, Dan Jacobson Law. Would the appellant please state your name for the record?
My name is Willard Nash. I am the owner of the house. And I have a tenant downstairs. She's in a wheelchair. She's steady tearing up stuff.
Okay, hold on, Mr. Nash, we're gonna swear you in. Solemnly swear to tell the whole truth.
Nothing
So
but
help you God?
I do.
Okay, go ahead and now proceed.
I have a tenant downstairs. I put a new ceiling in. I put new floors in, new bathroom, new tile and everything. Every time she turn around, every time I turn around like now, I put a new door in, we patching holes up. Where she hit it with a wheelchair. Every time she turn a wheelchair around, I got up, I also am in house court, the evictor out my house. He haven't paid me no rent in 6 months. And everything.
Okay,
And
So-
I'm in the process, right now, we're waiting on the court date to come back so I can get her out. So I can finish doing downstairs. Cause I live upstairs.
so you're in housing court now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and when do you think that's gonna get cleared up? Is there any idea on time?
I don't. Right now, all I can say, I'm in housing court. Don't know what day they're gonna let her, before they go to court. I don't know.
Okay, Mr. Murray,
Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, Mr. Nash.
Yes.
We have, our last building permit we have is from November 2023, asking to demolish the house. So can I assume that you no longer want to demolish the house?
No, I didn't.
Okay. So I'm wondering if the no progress that we have, the violation for no progress, is on the permit to demolish the house. And maybe we want to have that withdrawn, so we all know so we're all on the same page again.
I've been here every month. I make from here fixing this house.
This is 1614 East 49th Street.
Yes.
So, okay, I think while you're down here today, we want to walk you over to the building department and see if we can have that permit withdrawn.
Yes, sir.
What are your plans? There are some current violations. These are non-condemnation violations. Do you have the violation in hand? Have you received the violation?
No, I haven't.
I think that we can walk you over and we'll get you a copy of the violation also. Mr. Chairman, to Carmella, do we have the violation here? What's he here for today? Is it for a violation?
Through the chair to Mr. Murray, he's here today for interior and exterior maintenance.
Okay.
Missing carbon monoxide and smoke detectors.
Got them already.
Holes in ceiling floors throughout the structure, missing handrails, issues with the porch system.
I got a new porch coming up. You got more touch as long as she in that house. Good.
Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, do you have a certificate of occupancy for your building? Do you have a certificate of occupancy?
Yes, I got it from her office.
Okay.
Renters
Yeah, you got it down, Paul, you didn't get it from me.
So that's the rental registration.
Yeah.
Mr. I'm not even, Mr. Chairman, I'm not sure what we're asking for right now. Are you asking for more, sir, for more time to correct the violation?
Yes.
And Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, can you work on the violations that aren't in her apartment?
Yes, I'm working on it right now. As long as she's right there in there, now my contractor, he would not go, cause everybody I have to come in there to do something, she run them away. And this is another reason why I'm going to court to get her evicted out. You run.
Mr. Chairman, I think an extension is in order. I don't know what the appellant is gonna ask for. The building department wouldn't object to an extension. There's it's all non-condemnation issues.
Okay.
Do you have-
Well, we can go with, because the rest of them are probably gonna be interior stuff anyway, so we can give them 3 months to well, that's gonna take you to actually, oof, that'll take him into January, but if he gotta get the whatever the exterior that needs to be done, taken care of, whatever he can handle while he gets rid of the tenant. So we can give to January 22nd, 90 days, 2025. We'll say to abate the violations.
Building department has no objection.
Okay, the motion,
Mr. Chair, this is Vishnu. The motion would be to rescind the previous motion under this docket, which had remanded it to the city, and now granting this time, just for the record, if you would put that into one motion.
okay, we can do that if that was actually, I don't know how they work. He had a permit for the demo? Did he have that, Mr. Murray? Or
I
was he
had
just,
permit for my back house to be tore down, cause it was on fire.
And is that non-house?
I told myself, I have pictures of the house, and I tore the back house down.
Okay.
I'm steady cleaning it out. Okay, I'm burning up 3 trucks, hauling all the debris and everything up. That was on my back house. This is the front house.
So, Mr. Chairman, to the appellant, the back house is now down?
It's down.
And it's cleaned out?
I'm cleaning it up now.
Okay.
I'm bad. I gotta go buy another truck.
But Mr. Chairman, what's before the board today is the notice for violation of interior and exterior maintenance, not the
demo.
Not the demo. If we can stick to what is before the board.
Yeah.
And Mr. Murray can provide that guidance outside that process on it. Yeah, so if we would, the board previously, earlier, in Mr. Nash's absence, remanded this to the city. So if with this motion, we rescind that motion and provide the extension to abate these violation interior exterior maintenance until January 22nd, 2025 as one motion. Does that make sense?
Yes, we'll rescind the remand, and then we're going to give you till January 22nd, 90 days, 2025 to abate the violations. Motion.
Thank you.
So
Motion.
moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Danks, second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Bradley? Mr. Maskey?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes. Okay, you'll get notice within 2 weeks. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Sir.
Okay, we're going to resolutions. We have one.
Mr. Matt, Yes, sir? You want you?
No.
Thank you.
Okay,
Picture. We'll get you straightened out. Hey, I get it. That's how. Hold on. Oh. So.
okay, approval of resolutions, A 13624. Motion.
So moved.
Okay, moved by Mr. Dank. Second by Mr. Maskey.
Mr. Bradley? Mr. Maskey?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes. Approval of minutes. Are there any additions or corrections for October 9th, 2024?
No.
Okay, motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Maskey,
Second.
second by Mr. Dank.
Mr. Bradley? Mr. Maskey?
Yes.
Mr. Dink?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher?
Yes. Is there any further business to come before the board?
Yes, I forgot to mention, I sent you guys an email about a docket that we're gonna have to reopen. I can't think of the docket number. It was conflicting notices of hearings that went out. In the motion, we did, deny and remand this appellant more time. He did reach out to me once he received his resolution and provided the emails that had the conflicting dates on when his hearing was. He did at that time had a case in housing court that, I did say that I will adjust his hearing date. And in the midst of that, in a cyber incident, those emails had went missing until he provided that evidence. So we will be rescheduling him, probably on December 6th,
Okay,
December 4th.
we don't need any action on that, is that correct?
Well, we would reopen the docket and at that point rescind the previous motion.
And that's when he comes in? Or now?
We could do it when
When he comes in.
I think it'd be when he comes in, we can rescind it and
and then the resolution would need to be amended as well.
Right.
okay,
Yes.
okay.
That you all are on notice, so you won't proceed with housing court on him, because it was a condemnation of the main structure. From what he sent me, it kind of, from with Mr. Williams, he had building permits in place. And the inspectors came after the fact and condemned his house. So that's what he's, getting together on his paperwork to submit to us for review.
We
Okay.
confirm the docket number for that.
I would
I
have,
think, we can see,
was it,
is that 8:30?
R&R Luxury?
Yes.
Yes.
This is just,
The docket number is, oh, where is it? The appellant's name is R&R Luxury Homes.
Yeah, it's in R&R Luxury Homes. I want to say the operator is Randy Gray.
I remember the name. We heard this one, right?
Yes, we heard it on September 11th.
The docket number is A-30-24, R&R Luxury Homes. The property address of 4065 East 79th.
And what was our resolution was, what did we decide on that?
It was a deny and remand.
Okay,
The resolution was dated October 18th to deny and remand.
but she was here though, wasn't she?
No, he wasn't here.
Oh, okay.
He
All
wasn't
right.
here because,
Okay. Okay, I got you. And then it was a matter of not having the right information sent out or something like that.
Right.
Okay.
I messed up on the agenda and,
Okay.
making sure he was in the right pile.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll handle it when they come back in. No problem.
And the city's aware too, so.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any other business to come before us?
No.
Okay, we'll adjourn.
All righty.
Thank you.
All right, have fun.
Good day.
All right, have a good time.